Yeah. Hello and welcome to this 2v2 cast played on Airport, the 3v3 version. We've got Marisa Fan and DukeDankins playing as 3rd US Armoured and 82nd US Airborne respectively, and they're up against Erectile Dysfunction Monk and Infantry playing as 119th and 27Y respectively. So Americans versus Soviets today. Looking at the deployments, let's start with blue. We've got 5 air cav troopers going for Delta, backed up by 2 M3A1 Bradleys. These are the ones with 3 armor, and a HA Abrams, and an Ito, a Pivads, and a Chaparral. So 3rd armored in Delta makes sense. Big rush going on there. And then 82nd, the only airborne. So you would expect some sort of rushing, but instead just also going to Delta, not rushing for Foxtrot at all. Which is a shame. I mean, you would think given all the helicopters and all the forward deployed, you'd be able to make a play for Foxtrot. Because there's not actually that much there. 2 airborne scouts for over here, so really just not a whole lot happening on Bravo. 1 CV, 3rd airborne scouts for Bravo, airborne leader for Alpha, and an LAV going all the way around, so we'll see how that goes. Switch into their opponent's deployment. We've got Erectile Dysfunction Monk playing the Foxtrot Axis, which makes sense, tank division on the Foxtrot. Also 2 FOBs, 1 for each player, so we're expecting a lot of rocket arty this game. 4 Spetsnaz GRU, all going to the same building. Typically you want to spread these out, 1 here, 2 here. And no ATGMs. I mean, really, you want some ATGMs in these buildings if you want to defend these buildings. 1 BMP2, 1 Hilo CV going to a hotel and then presumably golf. And a T80UD, opening with T80UD, Tunguska, Razvedka BMP2, and T80 BVK. So I would prefer not to open with a T80UD, but there is a HA on the other side. And team, you can sort of get away with it, but typically you'd want to buy more AA before you start buying these extremely expensive things. Because they are going to send a plane on it, and you need more than 1 Tunguska to save that. On the left, we got Infinity. I do wonder where the points are for blue. Maybe Infinity bought loads of planes or something. But these Razvedka BMP2s are not cheap, and he's bought 6 of them. And he's just going for the mid with those, and a helicopter and a Tor. 6 Razvedka BMP2s. Interesting. I mean, I feel like that's a bit overkill. Typically, you'd want an ATGM in this building, for example. And absolutely no flank defense here for red. So we'll see how far that lab gets. And I'll cast the game, and we'll do it from this perspective. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners. They get the names on the screen. They get the videos early. They get members exclusive videos. They're also going to get a copy of my game, Hearst Hero, when it comes out on Steam, if they fill out the survey, which a lot of them haven't done, so...
Hello, I like money.
Oh, hello.
LBMS, subscribe to the channel.
Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Yeah, if you want to help out without paying, please subscribe to the channel, please like the videos, and please comment on them. It makes YouTube recommend it to more people if you do that, so it's very, very useful for me. So these are getting spread out, so that's fair enough. It's just really strange to see blue not take advantage of all this forward deployed stuff just to go hard in there. I mean, they could have sacrificed the Chaparral, the Pivots, and the HA for an Eagle and gone in hard with an Eagle, but yeah, this is also very weird to see 6 Razvedka. I mean, they're just so expensive. This is 150 points, so that's why he's not got any units, because these are all his units. Having said that, red could very easily overwhelm this and get through this if he actually bothers to attack. So we'll see if he does. Looks like he might. Planes out. LGB first tick. Probably gonna die immediately to Stingers. No, Stinger misses. Stinger misses. Stinger misses. Oh, okay. So the Avenger's hit. The Avenger, which survives the ATGM. Jet engine ingestion, so that made it do 1 more damage than usual. I guess Red's plan is just to defend and then buy ATGM, buy MLRS. I really feel like this lav is going to frustrate that a bit, because if it kills all the FOBs, then they're not going to be able to do that. HA's been spotted. These Spetsnaz GRU, they've all got stuff, you know. It's just it's very difficult for Red to really get anything done with all these toes. And you see he's already used his smoke now, so now he needs to supply. Whereas Infinity is having a lot more luck on this side because there's literally nothing here. Although this toe 2 is now going to start shooting, so we'll see. It just seems to just be stuck on a lining. No, it's now firing. No, it's actually shooting over here. So, yeah, it's going to be very difficult for Red to crack that open. I guess that's what the MLRS is for. So, yeah, Toe getting stunned there. Oof. This guy's not got his smoke. He's got to be careful. This is actually Resved could be in P1, not Resved could be in P2. They've got the same optics, good optics. Quote-unquote good optics. Great play from Infinity, actually. I mean, I really didn't expect this to work, but Blue's defense, like, there wasn't even an ATGM in here, which is a very useful place to put one. But yeah, there's no AA or anything. There's like one Tor all the way back here, so I guess the Apaches are probably going to clean that up. This is the second LGBT we've seen. It's dive in all the AA. That's really not a very good idea at all. It gets a HA. I don't think it was worth it. The LGBT is your best unit. Most OP stuff in the game, LGBTs. So, losing that for a tank, I mean, the point cost is equivalent, but it's also not a good idea. So, these TAEs actually survived for now. I mean, this one still has a decent chance of getting... No, that's a smoke. And the F-16 went down to a Tor there, just like diving over everything. Losing all your best assets near the start is obviously not good. But Infinity is now finding out what happens when you don't bring any AA. The Tor, of course, not in range to save these men from the double Apaches. What's his range against helicopters? 3,000. So he does have a small range advantage over the Hellfire. The Lav has made it this far. Not yet been spotted. It is actually seeing everything that goes past. And has shot. Is actually shooting. So these guys should notice that. Because it comes up on the right of your screen saying enemy contact or X is under attack. Over here, ED.Monk playing fast and loose with these very low HP units. You can see he's just attack positioning. He can't actually see all these, even though he's got all this recon. He can't actually see these people. He's just attack positioning. And now, if I was in Red's position, I would try not to lose that Tor. And there's no more AA coming, so now those Apaches can go to work. And yeah, I would have backed all this up, and then yeah, go for this basically, go for this. Try and hit this from this side, but you need to shore this up really. You need an ATGM in here. You need some AA. You've got enough infantry. You need some ATGMs, but now they're all just going to slowly die to Apaches and stuff because there's no AA, and there's not even any AA being sent. 2 Tors, okay, but you need like Iglas and stuff. So the OP Spetsnaz have arrived first. That stands for original purchasers. So that's, you know, they purchased first. They were originally purchased. That's what it means. My bad, I forgot. So they were the originally purchased Spetsnaz, and that's why they came ahead of the BMP-3s. It's not considering wheeled vehicles or anything. Just sending a Helo CV in is definitely one of the ideas of all time, and Infinity's entire flank has collapsed here because Ollie literally, I mean, now he's sending in this as well. I mean, you need to stop sending in the helicopters once one gets hit by a Stinger. You're not sending any more in. Like, it's just so dead. Don't think he's noticed. Down it goes. Yeah. Progress is being made here. They do need a CV that isn't a Helo CV. This would be a great idea. F-16, AT, and Seed coming in, so that this Tunguska should go down, really. What will the AT go for? That's the second... Oh, yeah, so that's the one that was bought first, and it survived the first time. But, I mean, just, like, suiciding in your best stuff is just not a good idea. You see those F-16s died there as well. Infinity still hasn't clocked on to the fact that everything he drives past this gets shot by an LAV. Like, he's got guys coming up to the front lines with reduced HP, but he just doesn't seem to have noticed. All the BMP-3s are dead because he sent them this way, so they're getting shot here. He should have had them around here. Would have done a bit better, but Okay, so this needs to smoke now. Yikes. Bit of arty would help as well. Here we go. Okay, Burrito. I was hoping it would be a grad. You can get that on target a lot faster. And red are suffering from the Warno curse, where whoever attacks first is doomed to take horrific losses and then stall out and get counterattacked. And indeed they have attacked first, and indeed they have taken horrific losses. Although, as the game goes on, the utility of 82nd Airborne is only going to decrease. Third is one of the best late game divs in the game, as is 119, and as is 27th. So time is on red side, and they've still got these two fobs, and they're just, you know, they could have bought the arty and stuff, but instead they're just kind of YOLOing. And they don't have an ATGM in here, so DukeDankins with his 82nd is able to get around, and now he's put one in here, so this is probably going to go down. It's pretty rough, Red, like no smoke, no grads. They're just getting chewed up by fire support. Like, this is very saturated. There's two players here, and yeah, blue getting here is actually pretty strong for blue, although he is being pushed out of that a little bit. Infinity's, yeah, it's just not going very well for Infinity. It's all hit. He's just losing all his guys. Like, he needs to retreat them, put them behind the buildings instead of just running into the Bradleys and dying. Like, there should be an ATGM here. Conquers in this house start doing some work. Like, ED.Monk can't really help you because of all the TOW2s, which it looks like is about to get a side shot on this T8 BVK. No, but it routes. And it's going backwards very, very slowly. I think it'll be okay, though. I think it'll get out of range. Hello. I didn't even see all this. So, bundle of sticks takes out pivots there. That goes like way, way, way out of range and still dies. And then that gets critted. And if its engine isn't working, it's probably going to die as well. So this is the power of just sitting there in Warno. Sitting there is the strongest strategy. Just sit there for 40 minutes and then attack right at the end. I mean, that's left range again, but it keeps going in a straight line, and he loses both tanks to this TOW2, which has just been sat there all game. So if you're watching and you're like, how do I play Warno? Step 1, sit there. Step 2, attack right at the end. Get a few points on the board and then sit there for the rest of the game. That is that's the strategy. That's how you win, bro. Having said that, red are playing right into blue's hands by just constantly attacking and constantly wearing themselves out onto this. They should also be sitting there. And yeah, the poor Machiki are obviously going to lose to Airborne. Infinity's really messed this up. I mean, he had all this, and he just... His 6 Razvedka BMP2 opener was not a good idea, basically, and then he just got beaten up by Apaches and stuff, and now... Like, he's losing stuff. It's not got any infantry. That, I can apparently see that. Okay. Basilisk, so these are useless and don't do anything. You will now observe this. So basically 82mm mortars don't do anything in this game, so it doesn't matter if it fires really fast. 10 times 0 is still 0. So here we go. Okay, it almost gets a supply. Okay, it gets a supply. It does 0 damage to any of the infantry. Let's see how this TOW2 fares. Yep, that's a fat stack of nothing. And yeah, still no damage to any infantry. And now he stopped firing. So yeah, that's Warno, I'm afraid. I mean, the 82mm, the reason they're bad is because the splash is so low on them that they don't do anything. Because if they miss by even the slightest amount, they don't do any damage. Whereas this is a 102, right? And you can see it's doing a lot more, actually. It's actually killing all the Basilisks. SU-27 takes out an Eagle. The Seed goes a bit deep to kill the SU-27. And what happened to those Taurs? Okay, they're all the way back there. So the Seed actually survived. And yeah, these aren't being moved, so they're all just dying to a mortar. yeah, don't buy Vasilex. It's a shame they're not good. They used to be really good, but they got nerfed into oblivion a long time ago, and they just never came back. And yeah, the splash on RT is really bad. So higher caliber's better simply because the splash is wider, like that, and all those Vasilex are dead now. So it's a nice meme, you know, but they're just not very good. That Humvito is probably going to win that fight. So here you go. Now there's a TOW2 in here, and it's just really not great for red at all. 27Y should really have 4 grads out at this point in the game in a 2v2, and he should be gradding this. This should all have been gradded twice, and then grad all this, grad all this, grad all this, and then attack. But they smell blood, I guess, and now they're having a really tough time of it. The Tor is very bad, but you don't have a choice when you're on 27th, but I would definitely consider moving one Tor up to here. And yes, the Apache is just killing everybody. There's no Shorad, there's no Tunguska, there's no Igloos. So the Apache is just going to kill everybody. They're all dying one at a time. And there's no Burrito. Well, there is a Burrito. There's no grads. So Infinity is doomed to just lose all his stuff to ATGMs, and slowly Duke will push this further and further, which means that now Infinity can't push this. When they went in here, they should have smoked the corner, and then they would have got some kills. But yeah, they're just going to spend the whole game eating TOW2s, I guess. So there goes another one. Oh man, it's tough. Attacking is the hardest thing to do in this game, but there are ways to mitigate against the problems, right? And one of them is to use smoke as the attacker's best friend, and use some artillery, especially if you buy 2 fobs, right? I mean, that's what they're for. The Burrito was a nice idea, but really the 27Y player gets 2 cards of grads and should have 4 grads out by now. I assume that's why they had 2 fobs. So 25 minutes left, and it's looking more and more like Blue are just going to build up. I've not seen this game, but what I think is going to happen is Red are going to keep attacking because they need to get some points, because Blue got Airborne CVs in first, right, so got all the points. And Blue is just going to sit there, and then in the last 10 minutes, Blue's going to have so much stuff that they just click Q over here and they just take everything. That is my prediction for this game, which, like I said, I haven't seen. As you can see, the Vasilek is just absolutely useless. Well, you might get that supply, guys, but yeah, it just doesn't do anything, and it's kind of depressing. Oh, so there's actually 2 Burritos here. It's got like a 5-minute reload time. This is quite rough because the enemy can just send a jet and come and kill this, so this is really not as a good idea. So this is probably going to die now. I can't see this getting out of here. Oh no, blue isn't buying a jet. Yeah. So more BMP3s purchased here. Eventually, I guess he'll try and push him out. He's actually brought up some recon. He still won't be able to see this. Really needs some artillery. Just doesn't seem to want to do that. So the beatings will continue until he buys 4 grads, which I just don't think he's going to do at this point. He would have done it by now. Here we go, Burrito. This is what we like to see. So maybe it'll get something. Quite a big circle there. Firing all the rockets. Most of it's missing, but he is getting a few things there. And this unit actually is going to survive. But he got some stuff. I mean, obviously the guys are here. So I missed the best place to shoot. But yes, ED.Monk is also helping out over here, and also losing people to the ATGMs. Maybe they'll do something about it, or they'll just keep buying units and running at them. I guess if you buy enough of them, it might work. But you're really playing 80 seconds game here by doing this. There's no grads. So, lots of things dying to TOW2s. Apache brought up now. No Shorads still. No Iglas. There was like one Igla that was going to come over here and it got blown up by this again. This would be the perfect thing to chuck 4 grads at, because these are towed, and there's even a CV there, and you definitely kill those straight away, but alas. So you're stuck trying to use a Tor against an Apache, and the fact of the matter is, if the Apache guy's using his brain, he's not going to die to that, and you might lose your Tor. So the Apache is now 1v1ing the Tor, and the Tor's probably going to lose. Yep, that's usually what happens. That's why you bring Iglas. And that Tor has died just in time for this big airwave here. Su-27 gets evac'd, although that one F-16 went down, but it was the least... Oh, okay, losing the AT is quite bad. So the Burrito here got moved to that and killed an ITO there. Really, there are more cost-efficient ways of killing these ITOs that don't have 6-minute reloads. But yeah, there just doesn't seem to be much of an attempt to buy 4 grads. I've said it enough times, it's just very painful to watch this because I feel like even though I haven't seen the game, I know exactly what's going to happen. Infinity's just going to keep running at him, keep dying, and then same with ED.Monk, and then in the last 10 minutes, Marisa Fan here on 3rd Armour is just going to drag box and right-click over here and win. If not, just sit there and win on 326 points. So it's a big shame. And given the 2 fobs, it's just weird to not see, like, okay, Acacia, but it's not the right tool for the job. It's better than nothing. But yeah, good play from DukeDankins getting this recon out here, and Infinity, like, not shoring this up at all. You know, 1 helicopter, which he does have, I've seen them. Maybe they all died. These are ED.Monk's helicopters. So... yeah, another thing for ED.Monk is that like his blob isn't that big. Like, where are all the units? He blobs over. He should blob over here and then like push it forwards, move back, push it forwards, move back. Get a Tunguska in it so that the Apache doesn't kill your stuff. Can be useful. And you know, NATO really shouldn't be out artillerying you if you're packed with 2 fobs. So that is quite embarrassing actually. So these are trying to reload, and they will take about 5 minutes to do so. These 2 could go there, but you see they drain the supply quite quickly. DukeDankins is still in here. Still stopping Infinity. This artillery piece has been a very useful purchase, killing out all those Vasilaks. The Vasilaks like fired twice and then didn't do anything. Like, they should just constantly be shooting or moving, basically. And Infinity's bought 2 Acacias. Okay. Still, where are my grads? Where are my 4 grads? The Acacias are not gonna clean all this out because these guys can just move between buildings, whereas the grad hits everything at once, they can't move. And it would kill all this. If you put 2 grads here, all of this would die. Which would be very useful. And given that you've got 2 fobs, you can afford to do that. So, seeds out, and these are not being switched off, but the Su-27 is gonna miss, and then the seed's gonna hit. Eagle to protect the seed. Su-27 hopefully doesn't dive here. Good micro, didn't dive. Eagle, will that dive now? I mean, there's actually not that much here. It does actually get a hit. Yeah. So... I'm not sure what the plan is here for Infinity. I mean, really, they should both be working towards trying to get in this corner. And for that, Infinity really does need this. Because otherwise you're just getting shot in the side constantly, and he needs to suppress this, which he can do with MLRS, basically. The Acacias are doing a little bit, but... where are my grads? Still yet to see any grads. Okay, so a third, so I don't think he's brought them. I don't think they're in his deck. I guess we're not going to see them. Just 4 Acacias, I guess. Big shame, because, you know, they're even more expensive. Oh, this is the laser-guided one. Which is supposed to be better, because it has a tighter dispersion. It's got guided rounds. So here we go, here's the helicopter. Clearing out that recon there. Two Apaches being sent. This Strela's probably not enough to deal with that. It might be if it gets a good ambush, but it's not being used. It's not. He's not reacting at all. Like he seems to. Okay, he's just waiting. So this is probably just going to explode now to a Hellfire. Okay, I guess not. No, I was right the first time. So really, you need some planes out for this. Like all these planes. Like all of these planes could be killing these Apaches right now. But yeah, I think DukeDankins was far too aggressive with those Apaches and loses them both in exchange for one Strela, which bought enough time there. So that was a big waste. Meanwhile, Marisa fan just buying more tanks, buying more tanks, buying more tanks. I mean, that's the plan. It makes perfect sense. And then eventually you want to... Like, just going straight forwards is a bad idea, because the enemy should have loads of ATGMs in these buildings. Obviously, it doesn't. And, like, some stuff here, like stuff with ATGMs here, so you can shoot them across. Obviously, it doesn't. So the thing Blue would want to do is attack from here to here. Burrito comes out, kills a bit of infantry. Probably more cost in supply than infantry killed, but at least it gets a few infantry there. And okay, so ED.Monk is now attacking. Needs a lot more infantry here, really, if he wants to be doing this. And like this is still here. And there just hasn't been any attempt to deal with it. It's kind of sad to see. And this should really be smoked, otherwise the Apache's just going to kill them all. Tunguska's not close enough. T-80UD dies to Apache most likely. It might have been this TOW2. This is now going to die as well to all the ATGMs. The Tunguska can't shoot because that little bit of smoke is in the way. And then this TOW2 is trying to shoot that Tunguska. Despite the range problems. This Tunguska needs to come over here so we can shoot the Apache. But yeah, this guy's had his tracks broken right on the edge of the zone. And now the smoke is fading, and there's no smoke coming in, so he's very dead. No surprises there. And yeah, this is finally the counter-attack, I guess, from Marisa fan. Finally the Q move. I don't agree with bringing HAs at no vet. Like, literally never. You never want to do that, because now this is low and it's not going to hit anything, it's not going to do anything. And it's only, you know, it's been hit once, basically. Hit once and missed once. It's now low cohesion, that's why you want these at 1 vet minimum. But yeah, it looks like Blue's just going to counter-attack now. I've seen this happen a million times. No surprises for guessing. I'm sure you guys all guessed as well. It's really weird to see somebody buy 4 Akatsias and 0 grads with 2 FOBs. But I think I've laboured the point enough. Red just running forwards all game, and now Blue just Q-clicking. Although I'm noticing a lack of recon here, so it seems to be able to see the enemy at all. And there's no AA, like where's the chaparral? That could be here with these people. Engine destroyed on a HA, so now you need to get your mortar and immediately begin smoking this. TAM, wow. LARP unit spotted. Basically you need to put this on aggressive. If this was on aggressive it would have fired 2 at this while going past. Oh, no, it didn't, never mind. And then it immediately dies because it's terrible. That's why we call it a LARP unit. Because you only buy it if you're LARPing, live action role playing. Massive air wave coming in there. SU diving. This is a very dead SU. Don't think it got anything for its troubles. And now these F-16s can dive. And here we go, here's the counter-attack. Drag box, right click, against an enemy who's just been running at you all game. It's the easiest strat in Warno, and it works. So it is probably one of the most effective. So good strat. Can't fault him for doing it. But yeah, Red's yeah, Red made a lot of mistakes this game. A lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. Like, this hasn't even been touched. No grads, you know, etc. And yeah, ED.Monk didn't really buy that many tanks on his tank division. He had a few. I guess it's because he kept losing them, but he didn't really have that many tanks. And so now he is doomed, and that chaparral did get moved up. Would have liked to have seen a bit more infantry coming in here for Marisa Fan. Like, there's stuff here. You could load them up, right-click over here, you know. Can this even carry people? No, I can't. Missed. Okay. And then, yeah, okay, so there you go. There's the smoke. That's how you get in the zones. You smoke. Right, you don't just run at the enemy and die. You smoke. You artillery his positions. So, yeah, not sure what Red's going to do about this. Blue are taking some losses. They need to move their AA up a bit. I mean, this just shouldn't be happening. And yeah, okay, that makes sense. Another thing Red could do is you know, move up this. Well, this English should probably stay there, to be honest, stay there. Maybe it can kill this. But yeah, Blue's doing a good job. Really needs the infantry to secure the zone. That's obviously a very unfortunate pathing because it's going to take it past all this. But yeah, Red's decision to not put any conkers in here really allowed this to happen. Blue wouldn't have been able to do this as easily. Probably still would have managed it given the massive imbalance in the number of people here. Yep, for Akatsias. Trying to get this in, probably not going to make it. Ooh, it wasn't an Apache, it was a tow cobra. But it routes, runs away. This guy's feeling pretty safe. I might have said this before. In fact, I don't think I've said it before. If you had 4 grads, this is not possible because you put 4 grads on that and it dies, or it has to route. I'm pretty sure it would die to 4 grads. So yeah, not looking fantastic for Red Team at all, in the slightest. Not sure what they're going to do now. Yeah, so basically, ATGMs are very powerful, and you've got to be a very good player to be able to deal with them, because you've got to be noticing at all times, and then pulling back, and then shooting, and all this, whereas the guy using the ATGM can just use his range advantage, and you see that happening here a lot, and there's just nothing to stop it. Right, there should be some conkers in here. Did they even have... So Infinity had some, but I haven't seen any from ED.Monk. He might actually just not have had any. So another thing you can do is put BRDM conkers in, all in this, right? Yeah. It's looking pretty not good for Red Team. 10 minutes left. Just, you know, sending forwards TEDs by themselves, it's not ideal. Need the infantry in front, really. I see you switched off the ATGM there. Another Apache purchased. Keep in mind, 3rd and 82nd both have Apaches, so you'd expect Red to just have loads of Iglas everywhere. And I've seen like 3 all game. 2 here, and the one that was here that died. They're the only ones I've seen. So just not respecting the helicopters and just constantly paying the price for that. Chaparral went down to Akatsias though. That's pretty cool. I keep looking back here and expecting to see a grad, but instead we see 2 labs and an Avenger. 2 labs and 2 Avengers. Yeah, we'll see how far they get. I mean, if the guy with the BMP3s, yeah, that's just on normal attack move. So he needs to unload the infantry, right? He actually misses, okay. This is probably just going to die. Yeah, that's pretty sad. If he'd unloaded that, then none of this would get through. And I guess all those Katsias are going to die now. Missed that Phantom bombing run. I don't think it got much. Probably just hit this. It died for it. And yeah, they're just running into the reinforcements. I'm not actually sure Infinity has noticed this. Well, he must have done because the order on that just changed. Well, okay, so he's unloaded. I was going to say, if he's noticed, why hasn't he unloaded his guys? There it is, there's the unload. So, these do have direct fire capability, but it's got really, like, why has it only got 13 pen on a 152mm shell? Well, there you go. I mean, it seems to be enough. You would assume that a 152mm shell would have a bit more pen. Obviously, the accuracy being so low, I can understand with it being an artillery piece. So that was good funnies, and one fob was spotted, which I guess was the whole point, to spot the fob. I believe that fob hadn't really been used all game. That's a cool fob explosion. When did they add that? Maybe it's been in for ages. You don't usually see fobs die. Here we go. Good burrito. Sort of, I guess. Not really. No, it's dead. It's a shame. They're all still alive. Yeah. I can't see red chem back in there. This has been dealt with, though. And now they've only got one fob left. But they weren't using it anyway, so... Would have liked to have seen blue play more around this area. I feel like... So basically what you find happening a lot in these team games is... So DukeDankins, the second player, is obviously on this side. And so the way he sees it, I'm on this side. I got to attack. If I want to attack in the back, I got to attack over here. I got to attack here. I'm on this side. Whereas what he should have done is also send one of those strike teams coming down here would have done a lot of work. And you know, obviously this guy is in a great spot to ambush that. But it depends which way you go. And he actually would have taken the hotel, no problem. That's a great place for 82nd to fool around. You know, get some ATGMs over here, stuff like that. But you know, it's that lane brain. You're on this side, which is all, and that's all the way over here, and you just sort of assume that your teammate will do that, and third armor isn't suited for that at all. And yeah, it's another round of ATGMs running into people that haven't brought any iglas. And it's going about as well as you might think. So pull my cheeky purchase now. I believe you get 7 in a card, so this isn't quite the whole card. Stinger. Okay. That's a lot of units, and they're all very clumped up. The Puma Cheekies are not unloading, they're just driving in and dying. They're all unloading now. Oh, this was the 7th one. So there you go, it was the whole card. Basilek, you gotta queue up a bunch of orders, otherwise it just doesn't work. So I like this attack, it's a decent attack, it's just this, you know, Blue have had so much time to, flipping heck, where's that happening? Gas is being destroyed, oh okay. Blue have had so much time to reinforce that it's just not gonna work. It's just too much there. Iglas have been purchased just in time to reinforce that graveyard. A lot of Iglas actually. And typically you want the tanks behind and the infantry in front, and the only role of the infantry is just to spot so your tanks can shoot, and your BMPs. But there's just been too many bad trades taken here. Tell you what, there's been a lot of seeds this game. a lot of F-16 seed. Okay, so he's just going for the infantry. I thought he'd try and get that AA that just blew up his seed. Typically you want to send them out both at the same time so that you can do that. But that'll do. The reload time on these has gone up a bit, but really not enough to matter. And another engine destroyed here for ED.Monk. Not very lucky today. Not very lucky today. Getting 2 engines destroyed. I mean, I'm not really sure they affected the outcome of the game, but it's still obviously not fantastic. And with 44 seconds left, I can't really see the score very well. Not sure what's going on here. I guess these were the guys that were supposed to kill that lav, and they just sort of forgot about them. These could be moved over. I mean, I've noticed there's no stingers in here. There's just a chaparral. Would have been cool to put some stingers in and some tow twos. Like, obviously, they're doing all right for themselves where they are, but could always get an extra one in here. But when you've got the helicopters behind, it's very useful. This can't really defend itself, and down it goes. Can't move. Engine destroyed. And that's the engine destroyed on this game. So convincing blue victory there. Yeah. So DukeDankins rank 1902. Marisa Fan is rank 0. Infinity rank 0. And ED.Monk rank 0. So there you go. 1902 clearly carrying the day there. But yeah, 103 games. That's bugged. 75 games and 196 games. So, everybody's got to start somewhere. But yeah, bring some Iglas, man. Bring some Iglas. Bring Fall Grads when you're playing 27Y in a team game and you buy FOB. You're buying that so you can bring Fall Grads. Especially if you're just playing for yourself, then 1 FOB is fine and 2 Grads. But if your teammate is also bringing a FOB, then you need those 4 Grads. And I think that would have gone very differently if Red had just gradded everything. Don't underestimate the grads. I mean, that's basically why PACT is better in big team games. Anyways, I will see you around. Do please let me know what you think.